All right, got a security guard like right in front of me here, so we'll see if I get kicked out. Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Drumming About, and today I'm at Lloyd Center, and well, by the time you see this video, Lloyd Center shall be no more. I suppose the parking garage hasn't been this full in years. Today is the official last day of Lloyd Center. This place for many decades was sort of an institution. Well, at least until it stopped being an institution. So the mall is on that side of the park, and my dad used to work in the office building across the park here, so in some ways I got that association with this area. Way back when, like, I don't know, 30 some odd years ago, the fountain was much different, more basic, not this nice little water feature thing they got going on. I usually try and keep things light and upbeat on this channel here, but I guess I will share sort of a maybe a darker memory associated with this place. Back in high school, me and a friend were cutting through this park on the way to the mall, and there were three kind of suspicious looking guys kind of near the fountain there. And they were sort of like, you know, kind of like talking in hushed tones and sort of like pointing towards us. And at that point, you know, we should have probably just gone a different direction or turned around, but no, we're just kind of like idiot teenagers. You know, we're tough. We're just going to keep on walking through, and sure enough, they kind of come up to us and essentially, you know, demanded our wallets. I mean, nothing violent at least happened. The most they did was grab my friend's arm. But you know, hey, at that age, you know, losing, you know, $20, that's like a lot of money. A reason I didn't physically fight back is I saw they had their larger friend of the group kind of hiding off to the side, you know, I'm sure ready to hop in case things got physical. And yeah, that's probably what was worst about it all was, you know, seeing that it was coming. It's like, probably could have avoided it, but you know, hey, what can you do? You live, you learn. I suppose as long as this park exists, I'll probably never truly feel safe here. So yeah, in a way, because of that one instance, it basically led to a sort of, you know, good riddance feelings I have towards the mall. Having had that experience, it prepared me for years later when it basically similar thing happened again. It's about 2005 or so at the bus transit station. I noticed a few guys who were kind of talking to each other, and they were kind of looking at me, and then they kind of split up as it got closer. Another guy came closer to me and said, hey, what time is it? And I'm basically just like, nope. Walk the other direction. So, life tip, sometimes people will come up to you asking what time it is. That's the sort of a tactic some criminals will do to make sure you don't have a weapon or some sort of self-defense, or you're just distracted, you know, looking at what time it is. Or maybe you'll take your phone out and they'll, you know, off with the phone. So yeah, always keep your eyes peeled. Trust your instincts. Suppose once upon a time you could just go into the mall from right here, but nope. Gotta find another entrance. Huh, maybe I should have parked somewhere else. I'm legitimately not sure where a valid entrance is. You know, some action movies will film things like car chases inside of an abandoned mall. Maybe the same fate will happen to Lloyd Center here. If there were coins in that fountain, I'm sure they've been long since picked clean. I have a silver coin with the same design. Kind of makes me wonder if that column has a certain significance. For the longest time, they were talking about closing the mall, and then there'd be petitions to save it, and it'd just kind of go back and forth, and well, now it finally happened. They probably saw no reason to continue watering the trees. or, you know, because there might be ice. This skating rink was the one and only time I've ever tried ice skating. I spent most of the time basically flat out on the ice or hugging the rail, given that I didn't even know how to roller skate at the time. Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle. Still remember how sore my ankles were afterwards. Should probably also stay clear of the machine itself. Snow cones. When I was a kid, I was spoiled by the arcade Wonderland, where everything ran off nickels. So when you come to, like, you know, the mall and, ew, everything's a quarter, man, that's so expensive. Actually, I can only imagine how much they cost now. Seems to be one of the last food vendors open, and the line is basically around the corner. See also caramel corn. You get people who have fond memories of eating at the food courts. Not me so much. Generally, when I go to the mall, I don't really eat food. I guess I just generally don't find it to be that great of a deal. Makes me sound like a cheapskate. I can't remember the last time I played with my Lego sets. And probably not since getting a bunch of cats, because you know how much they'd love to play with those things. I wonder if they have any drumstick-sized ones. They basically have every spare inch packed with vendors. Maybe I should have just brought a table, then I could have sold some of my homemade percussion. Actually, last December they had a musician marketplace set up here in the mall, where basically you could go to buy and sell your musical stuff. I thought about attending, but kind of thought better of it just because I know that my stuff really only sells to other musicians and not so much the general public. Besides, I would have had to spend weeks getting all my percussion instruments built. Such a weird juxtaposition of being bustling with activity but surrounded by empty storefronts. Seems a little too soon for cracked glass. Well, that probably made some people blush. It's like a really big guiro. The security guard's probably thinking, man, I'm losing my job. I don't want to be taking your picture. The last couple times I've been here, this has been basically the typical busyness. This used to be an entrance to the movie theater. I always thought it was kind of weird how the mall had two movie theaters. One was more for the mainstream blockbusters, and the other one was kind of for the, I don't know, smaller, artsier ones. You kind of wonder why they have the chess tournament walled off here, but then you figure, oh yeah, there's probably way too many people walking around who would just come over and knock over the pieces just to be a jerk. Maybe I should have joined the procession, but I didn't quite feel like dressing up in 80s or 90s attire. I'm sure they'll fix it later. There's this whole upper wing that's always been just business offices that rarely saw foot traffic, but probably getting a bit of an uptick today with all these people making their final walks. Yeah, I lost my gift certificates. Thank you, Zamboni machine. The guy was probably singing here earlier for the acoustics. Maybe I can commandeer it for my drumming. Yeah, well, so they kicked me out anyway. Alright, got a security guard basically right by the door here, so we'll see if I get kicked out or not.
Sorry. Unless you have permission from the mall, then you need to play.
Okay, I saw some guy singing here earlier. I just didn't know if it was like, do your own thing or what.
Personally, I wish, but unfortunately, no. Professionally wise.
Okay, thank you. And here I thought it would be funny if I could have that guard pose next to me during my outro as if I was kicked out of the mall. Alright, take two. I guess I'll just go to this dingy little unused section. Probably less likely to get kicked out from here. Alright, thanks for coming down and about with me. Go take in a relic of a mall while you still can, and when in doubt, drum. There's this bicycle funeral procession in honor of the mall taking place that unfortunately I had to leave before I could attend.